I'm James.
And I'm Emily.
We show you our actual weight loss journey, not just pictures of past performance.
And our goal is to help you and ourselves lose weight and keep it off using the keto lifestyle.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and get ready.
Set keto.
Take 4. March 1st, 2022. The 30-day BBB&E challenge is over, and we have our results. We got our final results this morning early. And as a matter of fact, Emily doesn't even know Derek's results.
Yeah, he called off work today.
I didn't feel good this morning.
So he got some stuff done this morning.
All right, so before we get into results, Emily wants me to tell you how I feel.
I want you to tell everyone, all of our friends out there, how you felt during and then today, because anybody who's watched any of these videos is going to know that you have been aggravated.
I have.
Week by week.
I have. So I've been aggravated because I really don't like a lot of vegetables, but there was a time that I really felt that I needed vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
More so like lettuce, like a salad. I was really craving cheese on my burger and some shredded lettuce on top to have like a Big Mac salad.
Right.
Or just a burger salad. That's what I was craving. And other than that, I felt great. But there's deep cravings that come along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was, replacing some of the, the little snack stuff that I wanted. The keto treats, I was replacing them with hard-boiled eggs. And, other than that, I felt great on BBB&E. I never felt bad on BBB&E. I did have cravings for things that I was not allowed to have because, face it, BBB&E is
restrictive.
Very restrictive.
Mm-hmm. But today, knowing that you can have that burger with salad or cheese on your burger or whatever, how do you feel today?
I didn't have either. As a matter of fact, we had half-pound hamburgers,
mm-hmm.
and we made our own beef gravy,
mm-hmm.
which that segment will be after this.
Right.
And we had portobello mushrooms with it. So we basically just had a steak with gravy and mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have the salad.
No cheese.
So I do worry going back on keto that the keto treats will
creep back in.
So mm-hmm. I need to eliminate the keto treats, or I need to hold them in check. I need to,
stay accountable.
Yeah. I'm going to have keto treats. You?
Mm-hmm. First week, I was hating the fact that I couldn't have creamer and skinny mix in my coffee. Like, that bothered me really, really, really bad. But each week or each day, I learned to have an appreciation for my coffee and the flavor that comes with just coffee. So that I'm thankful for.
She was mixing an egg
mm-hmm.
and
butter for a week.
Then she even stopped doing that, and
mm-hmm.
then she just liked
fresh ground black coffee. So I'm kind of glad in that aspect.
If you get a coffee grinder, there is a difference in fresh ground coffee. When you get the beans and grind them, it only takes an extra 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It is fresher. It smells better.
And it's very, very good. The cheese didn't bother me as much as it did you.
It bothered me.
The veggies did bother me some because I love vegetables. I love zucchini. I love mushrooms.
There was a time I craved lettuce. It just is what it is. Why is that?
Right, but I have a fear, and I told him last night I have this fear now that I'm not going to have as good results on keto as I do BBB&E. So I'm probably going to be more restrictive on keto than I was prior to starting this challenge.
Oh, I'm still doing my carnivore all week long and then keto on the weekend.
But I'm definitely still going to have like guacamole, avocado, mushrooms. Those are my big vegetables that I really, really love. So
I make it easy for lunch. I just take basically a meat, and it's just is what it is. It's just easy.
And since I found the egg life wraps, I'm loving those.
So I'm going to try to save the little keto treats and, probably most of the vegetables that I eat for weekends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ready?
Results. We don't have any kind of fancy thing we're going to post, so we wrote everything down with a Sharpie and a pen. So
all right, here we go.
Let's start.
I started my waist. I started at 47 inches around the belly button. I lost 1 inch. I'm 46 inches around the belly button now. My hips, I don't have anything really to lose there, I don't think. I started at 39.5. I ended at 39.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now around the upper thigh, I was 23.25 inches, and I ended up at 22.25 inches. I lost an inch.
Mm-hmm.
My chest is where I did the best. I started at 52 inches around the chest.
Around the nipple.
Yep, and I ended at 49, so I lost 3 inches around the chest. So that would be up here and back.
Mm-hmm.
My right calf, I started at 16 inches, and I ended with 15.5 inches.
So half inch around the calf.
I lost a half inch around the calf.
Around the half.
Around the calf. My right arm, now this here is what really amazes me. So I've been doing a little bit of
Hold on. I bought 10-pound weights to lift,
okay.
and he was making fun of me so hard. I said, you know what? I'm the only one lifting anything. So he started using my little 10-pound weight.
Okay, but what you don't know is I also do some push-ups too.
Okay.
So my right arm around the bicep, I started at 15.25, and now my measurement around my arm is now 16.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That's not a bad place for a guy to gain 3/4 inch, the upper bicep. So
right.
And then my weight, I started on January 30th. I was 249.6, and I ended at 243.2 for a total loss during the month of eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, 6.4 pounds.
That's awesome.
And I lost only a total of 5.5 inches, but
that's still a win.
3 of them 5.5 inches came off my heart.
Yep.
That's
awesome.
That has to be good.
Good results.
Emily's turn.
My results. Okay, around my waist, belly button, I started at 42 inches and ended at 40.5 inches. So 1.5 inches around my belly button. Hips, I started at 47 and I am now down at 45. So 2 inches off the hips. My left thigh, upper thigh, started at 23.5, and that is now at 23. So 1/2 inch on my thigh. My chest, which I did not do the same as the guys did. I did right about here on my chest, and I was at 45.5 inches. I actually dropped 5 inches. If you remember me talking about back fat, I kept telling him and you guys, I feel like I've lost in my upper back. And this is proof right here, 5 inches around my chest, right around here. My right calf, I went down 1/2 inch. I went from a 16 to 15.5. And my right arm is exactly the same at the bicep, 12.5, which I have been lifting my 10-pound weights. So
yeah. And then Emily's
starting weight on January 30th was 187 pounds, and at the end, 182.2, so 4.8 pounds total loss. And a total of 9.5 inches.
Emily lost 9.5 inches.
I'm very happy with my results because I feel like, I know I always say this, I average like a pound a week, which I'm happy with that. But to see 9.5 inches lost makes me feel even better.
And anyone who's around me knows that I have little legs.
Mm-hmm.
I
He
feel
does. A small waist, small legs.
small hips, small legs.
Yeah.
I feel like there was no chance for me to compete in this one because I felt like I could only lose half the amount because I couldn't lose
Half the body.
Yeah, I couldn't. There was nothing really on my legs that I can lose or my hips. But I'm very happy that I lost 3 inches around my heart.
I do think in a month from now, the end of March, we should take our measurements again and just see the results just doing keto.
Yeah. Okay, so
just out of curiosity.
So if you're waiting for Derek's results, I'll just go through them real quick.
Yeah.
Now, Derek's
at work right now. Otherwise, I'd make him come in here and do this.
All right, so Derek started at 61 inches around his waist.
Mm-hmm.
He lost 3 inches. He's now 58 inches around his waist.
That's belly button.
Derek started at 59 inches around his hips,
mm-hmm.
and he's now 57 and a half. Inch and a half lost. His upper thigh, he started at 28 inches around, and he is now 26 inches around.
That's awesome.
Derek lost 2 inches around his chest. He went from 57 to 55.
Mm-hmm.
His right calf stayed the same at 19 inches. And his right arm, he lost 1 inch. He went from 17 to 16. And Derek lost a total for the 30-day challenge. He lost 16 pounds. He
mm-hmm.
went from 375 to 359.
Awesome.
So, anyway, Derek lost a total of 9.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Emily and Derek lost a total of 24.5 inches during this challenge.
Off of our body. So.
We lost, 24.5 inches total, and a total of 27.2 pounds.
In a month between 3 people.
30 days.
Yeah.
So that is our results. The results are good. They're results.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, I wish that I had lost 5 inches around my belly button.
Of course, we all do.
But I'll take the 1 inch
mm-hmm.
around the belly button, the 3 inches around the chest, and be happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Derek is probably he probably lost more inches than I'm accounting for because he was doing this stuff. He was taking his measurements over clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, that's it for Tuesday night.
That's our results.
If you're thinking about doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs,
it can be hard.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Maybe you don't want to do 30 days. Maybe you only want to do 2 weeks.
We did it for a week at one point.
In November
mm-hmm.
or
and
October.
Somebody had mentioned that a week isn't enough. If you get over that week, that it gets easier. And I would agree with that statement 100%. Because that first week was very, very hard.
I think that beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is a good tool. I think
mm-hmm.
it's a good tool to say we're going to do this for a week, or this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should try it for 30 days.
Right.
But in the future, I could see myself saying, you know what, I'm snacking, I'm doing too much. Let's do BBB&E for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe beef is on sale, and you want to do BBB&E for a week.
I mean, I would like to stick a lot more towards BBB&E daily. Of course, I want the avocado and I want the mushrooms, but
Ketovore.
Yeah.
Ketovore is between carnivore and keto, and it's just, it's basically you allow yourself 10 total carbs
mm-hmm.
on Ketovore, and that's probably...
It is much, much easier to not have to do your macros.
Yeah, you don't have to do any macros on BBB&E. So now we're back to macros, and I'm kind of watching what I have.
That's another big reason why I would like to just do most of our diet as meat and eggs like we have been.
But, I mean, I had 2 little burger patties for lunch
mm-hmm.
and an egg, and we had our mushrooms, our gravy, and our beef
mm-hmm.
for dinner. And I mean, even with the mushrooms, the gravy, and everything, that was like 6 total carbs today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really not that hard.
Right.
if you're doing BBB&E, you really don't have to count carbs because there isn't any.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Well, anyway, I will show you us making gravy at the end here. And if you want to watch, it is a keto gravy. Now, this is not the recipe. We will do a recipe on it, but this is not it because we're still getting our numbers down, our hard numbers.
Right, and this is the first time that we attempted it, but it still turned out pretty good.
When you crave beef gravy and you look at the cans and stuff,
jars, it's just there's a lot of bad ingredients in there.
There's no bad ingredients in this unless you count xanthan gum as bad. But this is basically just the hamburger grease and beef broth. Anyway, have a great night. Thanks for watching. Happy Monday, March 1st.
Happy Monday!
So, 30-day challenge, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is now over. And it's dinner time before we do our results. And what we're going to try to do is, so we're still having
beef. Imagine that.
We're still having 8-ounce burgers, but we're going to have mushrooms with it. And we'll see if it's a fail or not, because I'm going to try to make beef gravy using basically the hamburger grease, beef broth, and xanthan gum to try to get a low-carb beef gravy, because we love beef gravy, except the ingredients at the store are kind of really bad in the gravy. Yeah, not the best ingredients in the canned gravy at the store. As a matter of fact, there's stuff in it that I can't even pronounce. So I'm going to try to avoid that, and we will show you the gravy. Obviously, you've seen hamburger cook, but we will show you the gravy and how that's coming along. All right, so we added baby bella mushrooms to all the hamburger, and I'm covering it because I want it to be good and juicy, I should say. I want it to make more grease versus the grease drying up, because I'm going to make gravy. Now, in this cup,
looks nasty.
It looks nasty, but what I did was I put a half a tablespoon, which is 1.5 teaspoons of xanthan gum mixed with beef broth. And my intentions are, because I've seasoned the burgers and everything really good, my intentions are basically to dump that, after we take the burgers and the mushrooms out, to dump the xanthan gum beef broth mixture, mix it in with the hamburger grease, and make a keto, basically a beef gravy,
Right.
which is going to have basically 3 carbs total in all of it that we make, and that comes from the xanthan gum, because the broth and the Redmond seasoning and all that stuff doesn't have carbs. So it should be very low carbs, versus if you buy it in the store and it has 3 or 4 carbs per serving, and there's like 5 or 6 in a can. So that's my intentions. Hopefully it works out.
Okay.
I'm up here.
Shut it.
All right, so we cooked the burgers. We put them in a pan in the oven just so they won't get cold. And what I'm going to do is I dump the cornstarch and broth mixture.
It looks like a gross sludge.
Into a saucepan. And I'm going to dump the hamburger grease.
I hope you get it all over your shirt.
Shut up. I'm dumping the hamburger grease into
the mixture.
Yes.
Do you have a whisk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Chef James.
You call it a coffee stirrer.
Oh. Why? I wouldn't use that. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Let's see. I think you're going to need the hand whisk yet.
Probably. You know what? I tried.
Yeah. Get grease all over my coffee whisk.
Oh, hush.
All right.
All right, so here's what happened. So I had the greatest recipe ever, and Emily jumped in and stole it.
Because he under seasons.
I under seasoned, and
It was very bland.
we had to get a bigger whisk. I didn't know we had a bigger plastic whisk. So basically, this is my recipe, and Emily stole it. What she ended up doing was she added in a half a teaspoon
of Redmond's onion salt, a half a teaspoon of Redmond's garlic salt,
and a half a teaspoon of
real salt.
Redmond's real salt, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Now, a quarter teaspoon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was a quarter teaspoon. So basically, I had this amazing recipe that I thought up all by myself, and then she jumped in and stole all the glory. So, yeah.
Does it taste better though? Since
it tastes really, really good. Now, this is not our recipe video, but we will make a recipe video with this because it's so easy.
And it's one of my favorite meals is to have just burgers with mushroom and gravy. So this is, I do like Swiss cheese on it too, but we're not doing that. I'm afraid of the cheese.
So now that we're not on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, we're afraid of eating other food.
Yes.
After 30 days, we kind of wonder, like, what's going to happen? So we're going in slow. We got xanthan gum. Yeah. So.
Mushrooms, that's, you know.
And mushrooms. So, all right, it's dinner time. And this food is amazing.
It is.
Look at Emmy smiling.
It's one of my favorites.
Smile. But look at the food. Look, this gravy, we will do a recipe video on this.
Super easy.
Very, very, very easy. And it is delicious. And I know that the ingredients are clean.
We know what's in it.
We know, yes, we know what's in it. And mushrooms. Yum. So good.